How you doing, lads, laddies, everybody? This is me, Waddles, and I like farms. Today, I've got a challenge. 10 Minecraft farms in 10 minutes. In theory, this should be pretty simple. 10 rapid-fire tutorials for contraptions you need in your world. But I talk. A lot. Like and subscribe for more. And let's do this. I thought a lot about where I could begin today's video, and I came to the conclusion that it's gotta be with a modern take on an old classic. You build this beauty in your world, and well, you build it in your world, you will have sugarcane, because farm number 1, it's a sugarcane machine. Now, the rules of the game today. You're gonna see a lot of the build materials down in the hotbar. Sometimes not all, but usually most. Beautiful. Cobblestone generally represents just any kind of building block. Glass, same thing. It's just a building block that you can see through, make it a little bit nicer. So, sugarcane farm, go ahead and build it just like I built it, and voila, easy, automatic sugarcane. Hey, it wasn't too bad. Let's go ahead and do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and we'll do that 9 more times. So, farm number 2, the dynamic duo is back. Both of them, chest and hopper, observer and piston. Behind this observer, we're going to place a solid block that'll take the signal that way, redstone dust that'll send it right back up to the top. Now, farm number 2, it's a dripstone machine. You build this titan in your world and, well, dripstone. Dripstone is what you'll get. One thing that you got to note with this one, that dripstone block up top, very, very important. If you put like cobblestone there, it will not work, I promise. It might sound or look like it's working at this point, but it's definitely not. To actually kick this thing into high gear, what we're going to need to do is a couple more blocks, water right there, and farm number 2 is beautiful. Farm number 3, maybe my favorite farm in the entire video. The grass block simply represents a grass block. Have your mob standing on a grass block in this build. We need an observer looking at that grass block. Right behind the observer, we'll place a solid building block with redstone on it. Then we place a dispenser, and inside of the dispenser, we put shears. Around this thing, some blocks to like contain it, you know, keep the farm inside of the farm. Then some light to make sure the grass actually regrows. Inside of it, a sheep. We're almost done. We need to move down below this thing, which honestly, thinking about it now, maybe you do this first, but anyways, down below this thing, we have a chest, and then going into that chest somehow. Yeah, definitely do this first. Look, to make sure all the wool gets picked up, this is the solution. Chest with a hopper, with rails on top of that hopper, with hopper minecart right there, and voila, is magic. Or kind of. Farm number 4, the beautiful melon farm. And now the extra intuitive bunch of you will know that this farm, it doesn't have to just be a melon farm. You could definitely substitute something else in the game for this farm, and it will definitely work. That's right, beetroot, yeah. So anyways, building this farm, we start by digging down into the ground, maybe dig a little past or whatever. I was so proud of this. Another modern twist with mud. Look at this right here. I'm so happy with this farm right now. I'm ecstatic, and I think I forgot one of the biggest building supplies. Really sorry about that one, but it was bound to happen. Make sure you grab a piston to build this farm, because if you don't, it definitely will not work. We have a piston facing down next to an observer that is looking at a stem, and then on top of all of this, redstone dust right there. Eventually, I promise, this thing will grow, and then it'll grow on that thing, and then this whole contraption that we just built, we'll harvest it. It'll be thrown down into the chest for all of your melon, or perhaps beetroot. Beetroot needs. Wow, would you take a look at that? Not to get too emotional or anything, I know it's not what you came for, but not to get too emotional, but farm number 5, it feels like we just started this video like 5 minutes ago or something. Anyways, emotions aside, farm number 5 is a super simple honeycomb farm. Look at this thing. We've got a dispenser back there. Inside of it, we put shears, and we got a solid block right there, redstone dust, and an observer. Not bad. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is place a bunch of flowers around here, maybe like 5 or so. Doesn't really matter where. Something like that should be fine. Then I'm gonna lure a couple bees over here somehow, just let them go ahead and do their thing. And then finally, to make sure all the drops actually go inside of this thing, we're gonna place some solid building blocks in front of this thing. Maybe blocks placed like that, and all the way up there. That should probably be good. Honeycomb should consistently be spit out and picked up by that hopper. Not 100% guarantee though. If you are concerned with things like this happening, then maybe try just filling it in. Add a couple more building blocks to the farm to funnel everything to the middle. And while we're at it, another thing I like to say about this farm is bees kind of like to go everywhere too. So honestly, it might just be a good idea to like trap them. Trap them all the way in. You go in there and stay there. You never leave that home. Farm numero 6, a kelp farm. Now this farm is going to be a little bit more advanced compared to some of the ones we already taken a look at. To build this cow farm, we're looking at something like this so far. Now we're going to need water in this farm, which means we need a lot of building blocks. It definitely cannot afford to have like water spill all over the redstone, you know, that would be really, really bad. Now this cow farm in this form is going to be ugly. I recommend to maybe like do something else. As in, like, I don't know, just make it a little bit bigger. When you make it bigger, it will probably look a little bit nicer, more intentionally, you know. But anyways, to finish this thing off, kelp at the bottom of this thing, give it a little bit of time, and eventually it'll grow up. The water current should pick it up and send it right over into this hopper for you. It's pretty simple. Farm number 7 is a farm you might not have seen coming, my friends, and also at the same time, I kind of feel bad for not being able to explain everything here today, so for this one I will. The chest picks up the items. The hopper sends the items into the chest. We have a rail right there, so we can put this hopper minecart right there. On top of that, we have sand, and then we're going to have turtle eggs sitting right here, so breed up your local turtles, silk touch them, bring them back over here. Finally, to finish everything off, we're going to go ahead and put some building blocks here, and then what I would need to do is wait for nighttime. I didn't put it in the hotbar for this one because, I mean, how would I have? But the biggest supply you're going to need for this one is patience. Because turtles, I mean, they'll lay their eggs. That's pretty easy. But getting the eggs to hatch, that will take potentially a long, long time. Turtle eggs can take up to like 10 Minecraft days to hatch or something. It's pretty crazy. However, once one hatches, you'll get one scoot and do that 4 more times and I mean, it's beautiful. Little fun fact for you about all this turtle egg hatching stuff though. Turtle eggs, they will actually hatch a little bit faster at nighttime, specifically near the end of the nighttime, like once it's almost morning. So if you can AFK around, that is good. This, my friends, is the easiest scoot farm in the world. All you've got to do is build it just like this and wait around. Eventually, after like 5 nights or so, hopefully you'll have scoot inside of that bottom chest. Our next farm of the day is simply the farm to have once 1.20 drops. If you're planning on keeping your current world, build this farm inside of your world right now and let it run all the way until the big update drops, because this thing, the bamboo farm, oh, it's going to be big. It's going to be so great. That brand new beautiful bamboo wood family, it can all originate from this simple farm right here. Ideally, if you want a lot of it, maybe tile it up, just like every other farm, but it's beautiful. It's so simple. Looking at our time, it looks like I'm doing pretty good, which means, finally, I might have a quick second to actually explain this contraption and some of the other ones really quick. The observer in most of the farms that we built today is basically like the brains and the eyes behind the operation. The observer is a block update detector. Check this out. When the bamboo grows, the observer knows. When it comes to the redstone, we've been putting a solid block or redstone dust right behind the observer, connecting up to the piston somehow. We're basically completing the circuit with this, so it'll actually work. Oh, and finally, the mud. Mud is so amazing. One of the best things in 1.19, mud is less than a block, which means the hopper can pick things up through it. Okay, I actually kind of can't believe it. We're already all the way on farm number 9 of today's video. Now, farm number 9 of today's video is, I think, unfortunately, going to be the only farm that will not work on Bedrock Edition. So, Bedrock gang, I'm really, really sorry about this. This works off of entity cramming, and oh boy, is beautiful. The hardest thing about building this farm is getting 2 cows inside of it, and then just being patient. You build this simple farm just like this, and then go over to your local wheat farm. Come back over, give the wheat to the cows, breed them up, and do it over and over and over again. Eventually, once you have like more than 24 cows inside of this thing, the cows will automatically be taken out, and you'll get leather and one of the best foods in the game. Last but not least, we're running out of time. It's a race against the clock at this point. Farm number 10. This farm is so simple to build. What I want you to do is place a cauldron on the ground. Above that cauldron, directly, space it 1 block, place a block with dripstone on it. Then we're going to place a temporary block and build some blocks around this thing. Finally, last but not least, 1 lava source right there. Give it a little bit of time. And it's an easy, efficient, well, maybe not efficient, but it's an easy lava machine inside of that cauldron. That's 10 farms in 10 minutes. So, 10 Minecraft farms for your world in 10 minutes. Those are, well, those are 10 of them. Sorry I couldn't exactly fit all of the explanation in this video, but if you want more explanation or a bigger tutorial on one of these, request it down in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the faster than usual video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more. I would like to send a huge thank you to some of my longest patrons: Archangel, Grand Crazy May, Hush Sound 34, and Bill Geek. Thank you so much for the support. It's been me, Waddles. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.